Well, hello my friends, brightest regard. I'm Lady Leeanna and this is Witchcraft Wicca Eclectic Spirituality. And we are coming up on Imbolc, also known as Imbolg Oimelc, Ewesmilk, St. Brigid's Day, Lafayette. I hope I pronounced that right. We are witnessing winter peak right now. It is right in between the time of winter solstice and the first day of spring. And we are starting to witness the green peeking up and little sprouts and sprigs and making ready our garden beds or planting our seeds and preparing them inside the house so that we can move them outside whenever it gets warm enough. We are breeding our farm animals and witnessing pregnancy among the wild animals out there. They like to carry a lot more in the wintertime because it's more comfortable for them and less hot. We are working in the yard and cleaning things up, getting it ready for the spring, and just waiting patiently for it. As certain aspects of the green starts peering in, reminding us that it's on its way. And it's about time already. I mean, we've just witnessed the first real bad of the winter season here in Texas just recently. I mean, within a week and a half. And we're already ready for summer to come. We aren't prepared for any of this, right? But at this point, the men and some women are preparing the yards, the garden beds, whether they're vegetable or flower, etc. A lot of women are, and some men are in there cleaning out the closet, getting rid of old stuff that doesn't matter anymore, or that you don't use, organizing the house, doing spring cleaning. And the word spring cleaning actually comes from the idea of this, where we're actually preparing things, cleaning things out for Imbolc or during Imbolc. But basically, we are doing a lot of cleaning, clearing, and preparation. Actually, that's the word I'm looking for. Yes, if you were noticing me blanking out a little bit, that was it. And some are liking to bake right now. And it's very, suggested. It's a beautiful time to bake a lot of spiced items, spiced cakes and things like that. Things that warm you up when you go out to work, or simply things that warm the air when you walk in the house and make you feel at home. At this time, I like to dig out my kotatsu, which is my Japanese style table, which sits only 16 inches from the floor, and you have to use a pillow to sit at it because that's the perfect height at which you would be at whenever you're sitting at this Japanese style table. And I set my altar up there. And since I am single, I like to do a single dinner. I make a complete 3-course to 4-course meal for myself. I make a dessert, usually a cake, whether with or without icing, although I prefer Cool Whip, really, and a nice glass of milk that goes with it, but, or coffee, depending, is it morning or is it evening, right? But I like to make me a 3-4 course meal, a dessert, usually a cake. You can make a bowl of fruit for this. And I like to decorate my altar with that which represents the dead or dying, which is on the left side representing the past, and in this particular case, the god, and how he's going to sleep and to rest so that the goddess can achieve all of the fertility for herself at this point in time, at which I put representations of to the right, which is green foliage and fruits and things of that nature over here to the right. And I actually set my god statue of Cornunus over here and my goddess statue of Diana over here in representation of St. Brigid. And then I'll put a few of my leafy candle holders, which I have some cast iron black leaf style votive holders that I set over to the left and right, along with some other things like that. And I'll decorate my altar up normal, but with very few of my altar tools. A lot of times I will bring out my altar tools, but I'll set them on the floor to the directions at which they belong, with the one that's to the north setting behind me, as I set in the north in the goddess position when I'm at my altar. And so I will set my plaque, my pentagram altar tile, behind me in the north, and then my dagger to the south, my chalice to the west, and what did I not name? To the east, my wand in the floor surrounding my altar, right? And then I'll put my freshly cooked dinner as well as my dessert in a little plate right over here, say to the god side of things, because I'm going to devour that as the goddess starts devouring all the god's energy to take it for herself, and he gives willingly so that she may flourish and be fruitful and present fertility to the earth, which is what this holiday is really about. And so that's how I kind of do my thing here for myself, being a single person. And then after the dinner and the dessert, which, by the way, I have an extra little plate over here to the goddess side, which is on my right, opposite of the plate where the cake is. I'll have another plate equal to that generally matches, and it'll be empty. And what I will do is, whenever I get through with my dinner, and I'll have a nice size helping over here of the cake, right? Got to have a good helping of the cake. What I'll do is I will have that plate here that is equal and matching generally to the plate with the cake in it that is over to my left. And after I finish my dinner, I'll do a little ritual of partaking, libation, basically. And I will half that cake down the middle, and I will give half of it to the goddess by putting it in this plate or libation dish, right? And generally I have a little cup over here sitting beside that as well. Let's not forget that. A little cup and a little saucer sitting over here to the right in the goddess side of things. And I will have that cake, and I will give half of it to my goddess. In this case, I'm calling to Brigid, and I am giving to Brigid, which is the awakening goddess that is within all of us and within the earth, and representation of fertility, and the taking from the god's side to give to the goddess, because she is devouring the energy that he's leaving for her, so he can go into rest and she can come up and awaken over the months ahead. And so I'll slice that. I'll hold my goddess plate from the god side. I will hold the cake over the plate that's down here that my dinner was housed in, and I'll cut it in half, and I'll grant half of it over to the goddess, one way, form, or fashion. There's no particular set way of doing this. You just do it. I'll give thanks. I'll bow to the goddess. I'll thank the god for his givings, right? Acknowledging the god. Always acknowledge the male counterpart. I'll thank them both individually. I'll bow to each one individually. And I'll hold that plate over to the goddess side, and I'll submit half of that cake over to the goddess plate. And then I'll set this one down, either moving the plate over to the side and out of the way that was down here, you know, with the dinner in it, moving it to the side, and then setting down my dessert plate, and then I'll begin to partake of the cake that I had made. And that is how I do this. Now, at the end of this, and mind you, I've got, by the way, and I didn't say this at all, I do have a brown candle in my leafy candle holder over here, and I'll have a green candle in the leafy candle holder over here. I keep looking at the viewfinder area of my camera here for whatever reason, and so if I'm looking weird or like my eyes are cockeyed or something, they're not. It's just that the video view thing keeps catching my eye and I keep watching it. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'll have my brown candle burning over here on the god side and my green candle over here to the goddess side. Likewise, I'll have either a black candle or a purple candle in idea of empowerment and spirituality over to the goddess side likewise. Right? And some people would like to put it right in the middle up here in the center, you know, that over here in a different candle holder, and then have different colored candles over here. Like, you could do a black candle over here because you're putting the god into the void for a while, and you're bringing the goddess out of it. So, black over here, green over here, and you may have an empowerment purple candle over here beside the goddess candle that would represent, you know, empowering her through, you know, nature and partaking from the god, etc. I also like to do a little bit of decorating around the house. Around the entrance of the house, where people enter and leave through the front door, ivies and vines that wrap around the whole door. If I can find a really nice evergreen ivy that will start and go all the way around the door, that is really gorgeous and without all the breaks in it. Of course, if you have to use those, then that's fine too. And if you can find those with color, it's even better, because we're talking about things coming back to life here, and so you want to see life around the house. Remember, on Samhain and Yule and all of that, you decorated with a lot of fallen pine cones, the gumballs, and, you know, all the browns and grays, etc. Now you're wanting to kind of start decorating with the greens and the colors, right? At least that's me, you know, kind of like my altar, as I talked about, to the goddess side. But generally, you might like to write in your journals. You may want to draw if you're artistically inclined toward drawing or painting. You might sit down and write out poetry or songs that you yourself will play on whatever instrument you might know, or drum it out if you don't know any other instrument, you know, or just simply chant it or write a chant. You know, that's what St. Brigid, within her many different faces, represented. She is a triple goddess. You might go and work on your altar tools, or you may work on your guarding implements, meaning tools, your different instruments. You might work on those. You might build guitars or violins, etc. And you might come out with certain engravings that you want to put into it, especially if you're making parts of it today. Would burn in St. Brigid or Imbolc or whatever, you know, and just kind of make it synonymous with the day. You know, it's really beautiful what all you can put yourself into here and make the holidays something different from all of the other holidays. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this show. I really hope you got out of it what I did in making it, and then you'll come back and join me for other episodes to come on Witchcraft Wicca Eclectic Spirituality. I certainly did enjoy making it, that's for sure. And if you find that you would like to support me, there are several ways you can do so. You can go to Patreon, which you'll find in the description of the videos, all of them. You'll find the links that would guide you to Patreon, at which you could support me there. And if you would like to get a reading and enlist my aid on a professional level, you could support my channel that way. I would certainly appreciate it. And again, you could find that information in the description of the video. I do readings via Skype. I do readings via Facebook Messenger, and I do readings on location here in person and face to face. If you find yourself in the vicinity and would like to stop in, thank you so much, and happy Imbolc. I love you guys. You take care, okay? Bye-bye.